Coming up in today's video, I'm going to be reacting and responding to a Bleacher Report article I saw where they were grading each team's NFL offseason, and then I'm going to kind of respond to what they said specifically about the New Orleans Saints and, go through kind of a recap of what's gone down so far this offseason for the black and gold. But before we dive into that, I got to encourage you guys to give me a follow on social media. I'm trying to up my Twitter game. I've been having a lot of funny posts go out recently. I've been tweeting about some jersey swaps, some funny videos, and a lot of cool analysis about the Saints. And on top of that, on my Instagram, I've been doing a lot more interactive content. Been posting a lot of short-form content there as well. I've been trying to grow my new Saints-specific Instagram, so give me a follow. The links are in the comment section and description of this video. But just to kind of give a recap of what's gone down so far for the Saints offseason. There's been some key free agency signings. They brought in Willie. They signed wide receiver, the veteran Cedrick Wilson, who was with the Miami Dolphins, also spent some time with the Dallas Cowboys. And then they big-time move with Chase Young, the edge rusher, who was traded from the Washington Commanders to the San Francisco 49ers and almost won a Super Bowl, but that was the big-time move that they made in free agency, on top of some other moves like Equanimous St. Brown and Nathan Peterman and some other moves like that. And then the key draft picks, I think that the biggest ones that they made, Taliese Fuaga in round 1, Bub Memes, Kool-Aid, McKinstry, and Spencer Rattler, all were big-time picks and are going to be filling in positions, not necessarily of need, but have high impact, and they're going to be big-time contributors to the team. But there have been no trades made for the Saints in terms of player swaps. There was obviously the trade in the second round to move up to go get Kool-Aid and McKinstry, but that didn't entail any players. And then the key departures for the team, Zack Baun left in free agency to the Philadelphia Eagles. Maclolm Roach headed out to the Denver Broncos, not the Detroit Lions. That's on me, guys. Michael Thomas headed out to free agency, has yet to be signed. Jameis Winston is in Cleveland, and Isaac Yiadom is out in the Bay with the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Bleacher Report gave these grades for the New Orleans Saints this offseason. They gave their free agency/trade period a C. Now, personally, I kind of disagree with that. I'm going to actually give them a B. Not necessarily a B-, but a B, because I think that they didn't make a ton of flashy, big splash moves, but they were smart with their money, and they didn't necessarily spend where they didn't need to. And they were also conscious about not necessarily extending and bringing back some players that could have commanded a lot of money. They did give the draft an A. The extracurricular project they credited the Saints for was hiring Klint Kubiak, and the overall grade is a B. But I want to hear what you guys think. What was your grade for the Saints offseason so far? Obviously, moves can still happen, but I think for right now, we're kind of set in terms of big-time moves, unless the Saints sign Justin Simmons. So let me know what your offseason grade is here. I'm going to tell you what mine is in just 1 second. But I got to give a big-time shout-out to Chubby's Shorts. I absolutely love this product. And to be quite honest with you guys, I've been rocking Chubby's gear since I was in high school. I wore them all throughout college and had the best-looking legs in all of this side of the Mississippi because I was rocking Chubby's Shorts. And you know what this season is. It's skies out, thighs out, baby. I want to show you this video because look how dapper, look how fresh I'm looking. The flexibility, the comfortability is incredible. I can squat, I can jump, no rips, no tears. It is absolutely comfortable. You can hang out by the pool. You can have the best looking gear at any situation and make any day feel like the weekend. I rock my Chubby Shorts, the swimsuits, and the shirts when I go to the bars, when I'm kicking it back with some homies, and when I'm trying to delete some beers. So crack open a cold one and make any day feel like a Saturday when you use our code CHAT. That's code CHAT to get 20% off when you visit chubbysshorts.com. I'm a dude who's got tree trunks for thighs and a perfect dad bod build, but Chubby's is perfect to match my unique fit and style. With a variety of high-quality, everyday men's apparel, you can pick from the most comfortable shorts you'll wear all summer to swim trunks, pants, polos, and even button-down shirts that'll have your grandma praising how well you clean up and your girlfriend wanting to get down. Embrace the spirit of endless summer with Chubby's, the ultimate destination for bold, vibrant, and outrageously comfortable clothing. For limited time, Chubby's is giving our listeners 20% off with our exclusive code CHAT. That's code CHAT at chubbysshorts.com. The link information is in the comment section and description of this video. It's also at the bottom of your screen. Thank you, Chubby's, for sponsoring today's video, and let the weekend begin. So the grade that I'm going to give the New Orleans Saints this offseason is a B+. And maybe I'm being a little too optimistic because the Saints didn't make any big-time flashy moves outside of the NFL draft. But I kind of want to dive into what Bleacher Report said, and I'm going to respond piece by piece to what they had to say. So let's kick it off with the first part of their article. They did fare well in the draft, which might allow them to better contend in 2024. First-round rookie Taliese Fuaga has the talent and ability to play tackle or guard, and he'll likely get his first shot at starting at the left tackle spot. Now, I disagree. I do think that Trevor Penning is going to be the starting left tackle because what the Bleacher Report article didn't address is the fact that Ryan Ramczyk is dealing with a pretty major injury, and we're not even necessarily sure that he'll ever play football again. I wouldn't be too optimistic to see Ryan Ramczyk suit up in week 1. I just do not think that that's going to be in the cards. So I think Taliese Fuaga is going to be your starting right tackle, which means Trevor Penning is going to have to step up and be the starting left tackle. But back to what Bleacher Report had to say, if Fuaga can solidify the left tackle spot, it would be huge. As 2022 first-round pick, Trevor Penning hasn't developed as anticipated. I have some thoughts here on that in just 1 second. The Saints also got a first-round caliber talent in cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry, who should further boost their 10th-ranked pass defense. Spencer Rattler will be a developmental prospect and depth behind quarterback Derek Carr. Now, I want to kind of address a few things in there. I do think that Spencer Rattler is going to be a developmental piece. I think that he should sit. I don't think he should touch the field for at least this season, maybe even next year, because I think he needs to do everything he can to soak in the NFL playbook, soak in the speed of the game, and really dive into what the New Orleans Saints are trying to do. I also want to, address the Taliese Fuaga. He's going to be on the left side. Trevor Penning hasn't panned out. I agree that Trevor Penning hasn't panned out, but who's to say that he can't still turn into a quality player? I think under new offensive coaching staff, including a new offensive line coach, he's going to be a little bit better and at least show some improvement. But here is what the New Orleans Saints did with their draft picks. With all 7 picks, I think that they made some really, really good selections. And maybe even Josiah Aziram could challenge Trevor Penning to be a starting tackle at one point in time. But I want to just kind of give some credit to a couple of these players. I really like what the New Orleans Saints did with this draft in each one of those picks. And I could really ramble on about every one of those guys. But I already did that in my draft grades video. So I want to just kind of show some credit and show some love to Bub Means, because I think that he's a player that could actually be a big-time sleeper. This is a player who is a vertical X kind of receiver. He's a big-bodied guy. The size profile is bigger than Michael Thomas. The athleticism, when he was testing, the relative athletic score is better than Michael Thomas. And I'm not saying that he is MT, but I think that he could fit that role of your X receiver, plays over the middle. I mean, there's been reports coming out of rookie minicamp that he has been really, really electric, especially on post routes, especially over the middle. He's a physical guy with really nice hands, and I think that he could really be a sleeper pick in the long term for the New Orleans Saints. And I also want to give some credit to Christian Boyd, too, because I think the combination of Boyd and Bryan Bresee will be very, very dangerous. I think it could have the ability to be a really nice, young, defensive interior duo that could really wreak some havoc, because both guys are solid at run blocking, but also, not run blocking, at run defending, but they're also really good at rushing the passer. Bryan Bresee was one of the sack leaders for the New Orleans Saints last year. So if he can build on that in year 2, and Christian Boyd, who's just freaking massive and an absolute behemoth of a man, he is so damn strong, holds the record at UNI for the bench press with, I think, 38 reps. Goodness gracious, it's unbelievable. I think that could be a really fun duo in the defensive interior. What's been your favorite move for the Saints this offseason? I want you guys to get down in the comment section. You tell me, and if you know ball, get down and share your thoughts. Now back to what Bleacher Report was saying about the Saints. While New Orleans didn't do much to shake up the roster, they're shaking up the offense by replacing longtime offensive coordinator Pete Carmichael with Klint Kubiak. Derek Carr didn't quite seem to gel with Carmichael's system, and Kubiak should bring some fresh ideas after last overseeing a dynamic offense as the 49ers passing game coordinator. Now, what you can kind of expect from Klint Kubiak, I've kind of gone into a deep dive on this in a couple recent videos, so if you haven't seen those, the links are in the comments and description of this video, or you can, of course, just check out the channel. He's going to be running a West Coast offense, a lot of wide zone schemes, and you're going to expect to see a lot of running the football. They're going to utilize and stretch the field. They're going to be able to do a lot of quarterback options, a lot of dump-offs, and, really scheming up plays for specific players. I think that that's going to be a really smart thing and a really useful thing for the black and gold. He has been on the record of saying that he wants to be grounded and run the football and be effective on first and second down, and especially be effective in the red zone, because that's a big place where the Saints struggled last year. And he will have a high usage of play actions. You're going to see the quarterback move around in the pocket, see a lot of pre-snap movement, and efficiency in the red zone is going to be a big-time key factor for Klint Kubiak. And we've already seen him taking control at rookie minicamp. There's reports from Ross Jackson, John Hendricks, and a lot of those other guys who do have boots on the ground at Saints practices that he was very, very vocal. He was moving around a lot. He was spending time with very specific players, the quarterbacks, the offensive playmakers, the offensive line. He was moving around and was a big time he was diving into these guys, and he was trying to bring the best out of them. He was very intense from what it sounds like. It was a lot of high-tempo stuff. So all of this in a very good way. And it's been, something that we haven't necessarily seen since Pete Carmichael has been the OC for so long. So it's kind of a nice change of pace in my eyes for the New Orleans Saints. And it's not like the black and gold are lacking any talent on the offensive side of the ball. They do have playmakers in the wide receiver position, in the running back position, in the tight end spot. They have playmakers everywhere. They just need somebody who can hone that in. They need somebody who can scheme up plays to allow Chris Olave to cook. They need to give the ball to Alvin Kamara in open space. They need to feed Taysom Hill. They need to utilize the players to their strengths, and they need to scheme specific plays up so that way they can be more effective when they have the ball in their hands. But guys, I want to give a quick update on our Mays sub battle. We're kicking the hell out of the Atlanta Falcons Today channel at Chat Sports. So keep on rocking and keep on rolling. Let's bury the baby brothers of the NFC South. They got 241 this month. We have 326. Don't let me down, Who Dat Nation. Let's keep this moving. Plus, you get Saints news and rumors every single day. So Bleacher Report did discuss Derek Carr in year 2 with the Saints. They said whether or not Carr returns to the Saints, whether Carr returns to the Saints to Pro Bowl form remains to be unseen. However, this was a team that ranked 9th in scoring and 8th in points allowed last season while winning 9 games. Even minor offensive improvement could put New Orleans back in the postseason. Now, personally, I see no excuses for failure in 2024. We all know what the schedule looks like. We all know what the opponents look like. We all know that the Saints have the ability to have a good defense. We all know that the Saints have the ability to have a good offense. There is no excuse for failure for Derek Carr. They have a better play caller for him. They have a plethora of weapons, and this isn't even all of them. I mean, guys that aren't even on the screen include Cedrick Wilson, who's going to be, I think, a big-time contributor on offense because he is going to be familiar with the system that Kubiak is going to try and implement because of his time with Mike McDaniel, who's also a Kyle Shanahan product. I mean, this screen is full of just dogs, in my opinion. Jamal Williams, I'm not giving up hope on him. I'm not saying that he's going to be incredible and have, 10, 15-plus rushing touchdowns, but I do think that he can be an effective ball carrier if he's, has plays schemed up correctly for him. Kendre Miller, he was electric last year. I can't wait to see him in year 2. Taysom Hill, just go play football. I mean, there's really no excuse. And here's the thing. Derek Carr's not a bad quarterback. He's not a great quarterback, but he's not a bad quarterback. He's just extremely average. And you can sit around and complain about the contract. You can whine and complain about the player all you want, but he's also paid at a very average level. His contract is very middle of the pack in terms of quarterbacks, and especially what quarterbacks are making these days and how big the contracts are getting. So he's an extremely average quarterback. That doesn't mean he's bad. That also doesn't mean he's great. So he just needs to be good. He just needs to be better than extremely average. Just be good. And I think the Saints offense could be much better this year. But I want to encourage you to subscribe one more time if you haven't already. If you made it to the end of the video, clearly we're doing something right. So hit that big red sub button. Lock us in for more Saints videos every single day. And y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.